Ic17 Encyclopedia The Planet. Preserving the Planet under New Management. Guided by the Forces of the Universe. Your Sacred Council. Discover the secrets of the universe, which reveals an assembly or circle of 32 laws of universe and nature, or better said, the guiding forces of universe and nature, such as duality, time, change, attraction, cause and effect, order, place and function, and many more. We are all looking for change, struggling in so many ways and aspects of our life. We may have an advisor, a healthcare practitioner, a nutritionist, personal trainer, or even a lifestyle coach. But we don't have access to them all day long. So, enter the circle of vital and aware living and meet the Sacred Council, your personal lifestyle and awareness coaching team, always ready to assist you in every moment and in any circumstance. We are like visitors in a foreign country without knowing the laws and how everything functions in that world. We know a lot about the things of the modern world, but know little about the basics of life. See how they assist us with every step we make and with every breath we take, and make them practical in your daily life in dealing with your real self, your soul, your mind and your thoughts, your body, words and communication, nutrition, fitness, your life partner, children, the teenage years, getting older, stress, weight, disease, emotions, business, destructive habits, preserving the planet, studying, and friendships. For more detailed information on each of the guiding forces, see the intro booklet. There are endless words that can be connected to any subject, and each subject can have many books because each subject can be approached from various perspectives or angles. Most important, however, is not to forget that all that is said or written is merely an opinion, a truth, and not the truth. Because the spoken and written word is part of the creative world created in opposites, constantly changing and bound to time, and there is always more that can be said or written about any subject. Regarding me and the Sacred Council members talking about any subject, know that this understanding applies to that information as well. The information is formed from their particular point of view and brought to you through the world of visionary and mystical fiction. Hopefully, it contributes to your life and assists you to experience life in a more conscious, mystical, and magical way. By hearing or reading this information, you will come to the conclusion that you know this already, and you do, because this is part of your universal and spiritual inheritance. And often, we just need one word or a sentence that inspires and motivates us to do things differently or to think about a certain subject from a different perspective. The guiding force of the Creator. Make God a reality in your life. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that it and everything in and on it can only exist through the essence of life itself, the eternal life-creating and life-sustaining force. At this moment, you, as eternal souls, have your momentary adventure on this planet inside a human body, equipped with a mind. You lost your direct contact with your essence and are really lost and lonely, and to compensate you seek the pleasures of the world, forgetting that all of that contributes to the destruction of the planet. This planet, just like your body, is your momentary home, and you are to take care of them, for they are gifts. Quote, "The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and all that dwell therein." Psalm 24:1. Give thanks to all the gifts and respect them with the consciousness that the Creator resides in all. The guiding force of the universal teacher. Master or be mastered. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that you have become masters of destruction because you just consume, take and want. Your mind, ruled by your sense organs and negative passions, have you completely in their grip. They are your master, and you the slave, a slave without consciousness, who just seeks momentary pleasure, destroying the health of the body and the planet. And do not wait for others to start a change. Quote, "Let him that would move the world first move himself." Socrates. End of quote. Become the master of the mind, the master of your sense organs, and become the master in preserving the health of the planet and yourself. The guiding force of the power of the mind. Know the tricks of your mind. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that the mind, under the dictates of the sense organs, acts like an unconscious visitor who just takes and takes. You justify everything, and now you find yourself on a planet which is on the brim of total destruction. You blame others, but you as an individual keep on depleting the Earth's resources in endless ways by being part of the consumer society. Quote, "The world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing." Albert Einstein. End of quote. The guiding force of the true disciple. Follow the Master and the teachings. In regards to taking care of the planet, realize that you just follow the dictates of the mind ruled by the sense organs. Just listen or read about the words of all the great spiritual masters who came to let you know that you are a soul in a human body and in a foreign world. They speak about the journey of self and God realization, which starts inside the human body and the planet you are residing on. They are the base and foundation to start your journey. Masters and teachers have always spoken to take care of these special gifts. To be a follower at times is very lonely, for you cannot even share your inner experiences with anybody. At times you try to fit into this world again with all kinds of means, but we are not from here. Do you follow what the masters are doing to the planet, or are you struggling to do things differently? Quote, "Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect." Mark Twain. End of quote. You came alone and will depart alone. Nobody is from here. But while being in this foreign land and in this foreign body, you need to follow the rules and regulations in order to live in harmony and to respect all these momentary gifts. The guiding force of your inner hero. Be the hero of your own life adventure. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, stay aware that a hero doesn't blame anybody but takes full responsibility for his or her own actions. All of you are part of the destruction of the planet, and it is not about pointing and blaming others, but about your personal actions. It takes consciousness and discipline to stay on top of things. Just as your body needs all the help possible, so does the planet. Quote, For every disciplined effort, there is a multiple reward. Jim Rohn. End of quote. The guiding force of maturity and wisdom. Learn from the wise elders and nature. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that the human body, like the planet, is a garden, and every action or avoiding action will have an effect on the garden, in which you have to live with and in. Look what you do to your body and the planet, and you still wonder about the diseases and natural disasters. Is it not just the last attempt of nature to get your attention to hopefully do things differently? Quote, "There is nothing mysterious about the universal principles. We all know them. We only need to be reminded that they never fail to apply in our lives, no matter how much we may wish we could escape the consequences of our ignorance." Carl Phillips. End of quote. The guiding force of fantasy and magic. Live your life as a magical adventure. In regards to taking care of the planet, remember that your adventure on the planet Earth was meant to be a magical and mystical experience. Assist to keep the planet staying that physical and magical Garden of Eden. Wear your magical glasses and see the faces of bodies of everything in nature as magical characters and realize that they are alive. Start a different relationship with them. You are the writer of the story which you have to deal with. Quote, "It is the function of art to renew our perception. What we are familiar with, we cease to see. The writer shakes up the familiar scene and, as if by magic, we see a new meaning in it." Aeneas Nin. End of quote. The guiding force of translating messages. Decipher the symbolic meaning of messages. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, do you understand why Mother Nature is giving you its endless messages of discomfort? It may be about the destruction you are causing. Look what you do to nature, and this is not pointing the finger to anyone but starting on your level. Find out, with everything you think, eat, buy and do, how it affects the world at large. Think and see, understand and make changes. Quote, "Nature does not require her time of preservation, which perforce I her frail son amongst my brethren mortal must given my attendance to." William Shakespeare. End of quote. The guiding force of the energy of solids and earth. Feel connected and keep on experiencing new. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that all you consume takes from the planet's resources. So, what you all do to the body of Mother Earth, the household waste, but even worse, the producing of it all, the items you use in the house, which is a tenfold waste compared to what you throw in the trash. You need to participate in recycling, but far more important, not buying into the extreme consumer society which keeps the manufactories going. Quote, "The care of the earth is our most sacred and most worthy, and after all our most pleasing responsibility. To cherish what remains of it and to foster its renewal is our only hope." Wendell Berry. End of quote. You do not give the soil any rest anymore to recover, and you mass produce with the help of artificial fertilizers and pesticides. You receive poor energy foods, contaminate your body and destroy the very soil which needs to bring you life. Quote, "The earth we abuse and the living things we kill will, in the end, take their revenge, for in exploiting their presence we are diminishing our future." Mariah Maness. End of quote. The planet shows you endless signs, but it is your greed that lets you continue. The comfort you seek will be your destruction. Quote, if we go on the way we have, the fault is our greed, and if we are not willing to change, we will disappear from the face of the globe, to be replaced by the insect. Jacques-Yves Cousteau. End of quote. The guiding force of the energy of liquids and water. Go with the flow and in moderation. In regards to taking care of the planet, preserve water wherever you can use. By having a system at your house that allows sink and shower water to be used for garden watering. Use biodegradable cleaning products. Collect rainwater in a cistern and use it for different purposes. Quote, when the well is dry, we know the worth of water. Benjamin Franklin. End of quote. When you have a pool, search for natural water balancing systems other than using chemicals. You cannot continue polluting the waters of the earth, for they are so essential for all life on the planet. Quote, in looking at the various environmental issues we are all faced with, and the task that we need to fulfill for the planet, if we could get more than 10% of the people consciously aware, then I believe we could pull the 80% in that direction too. Masaru Emoto. End of quote. The guiding force of the energy of heat and fire. Pace yourself in order to digest. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, you need to reduce the enormous speed through which you are destroying yourself and the planet. Everything needs to be now. Quote, adopt the pace of nature, her secret is patience. Ralph Waldo Emerson. End of quote. Reduce the amount of engine-driven machines around you producing heat. Reduce fluorescent light and use incandescent light or vital lights. Assist to reduce global warming. Learn from nature and do not participate in the manipulating of nature. Quote, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Lao Tzu. End of quote. The guiding force of the energy of gases and air. Embrace, endure, and love it all. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, assist to reduce air pollution in every way possible. Walk more and use the bike instead of driving the car. Avoid using toxic paints, artificial materials giving off toxic fumes and aerosols. Reduce the amount of engine-driven machines around you producing pollution. Stay aware that you are contributing in love to everything and everybody, or you're taking from that love and possibly destroying it. Nature gives with love to everyone. Quote, may my soul bloom in love for all existence. Rudolf Steiner. End of quote. The guiding force of ether connected to audible sounds and verbal communication. Realize that everything you hear and say is just an opinion. In regards to taking care of the planet, reduce the endless noise-producing devices you have created because they all interfere with the harmony of nature. Possibly you are even afraid to have no external noise around you anymore. Quote, we need to find God, and he cannot be found in the noise and restlessness. God is a friend of silence. See how nature, trees, flowers, grass grow in silence. See the stars, the moon and the sun, how they move in silence. We need silence to be able to touch souls. Mother Teresa. End of quote. The guiding force of ether, connected to the conditioned mind, associations, and non-audible communication. Stay aware of your limited and conditioned realities. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, protect yourself from too many electromagnetic energy interferences, which create tremendous stress on your mind, brain and body. Use all communication devices as minimum as possible. Turn them off when not in use, unplug them, and have energy protector devices on all of them, and also use area energy protectors. Make a small study on what is happening to your environment and yourself through the increasing EMFs and take action. Quote, "We know what a person thinks, not when he tells us what he thinks, but by his actions." Ic17 End of quote. The guiding force of ether, connected to the universal mind, higher virtues and soul communication. Observe yourself. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, be careful of crowning yourself or others for all the great things you have done in this world, because most of it we were part of the destruction of the planet. There is very little you can be proud of. Quote, "The only thing we have to fear on the planet is man." Carl Gustav Jung. End of quote. Learn to live with the highest virtues and reconnect with your true essence and your creator, and start living life with a different consciousness and being an observer instead of being a consumer, destroyer, or even savior. The guiding force of duality. Accept and deal with the duality in everything and everybody. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that Mother Nature is showing you that it's time to seek the other side of adventuring her, as there is too much pollution and drastic climate changes. The time has come to clean up and to do things differently, otherwise you soon have no planet or human life on it anymore. Nobody wants to claim personal, to be part of the destruction of the planet, but wanting and waiting for money to come and others to solve the problems. You have to make a complete inventory and investigation on all levels how you contribute to the destruction, and start taking action yourself. Quote, "It is wise to direct your anger towards problems, not people. To focus your energies on answers, not excuses." William Arthur Ward. End of quote. The guiding force of time. Learn to live in the moment. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that there are many ways mankind does to manipulate nature, and that you pay a big price for all of that. The past is gone, and the future in danger when you do not start acting now. Time is running out. Quote, "We may learn anew what compassion and beauty are, and pause to listen to Earth's music." David Brower. End of quote. The guiding force of change. Learn to go with the ever-changing adventure. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, stay aware that Mother Nature has a hard time coping with the enormous industrial changes, leaving too much pollution behind and affecting the health on the planet. Stop contributing with the destruction of the planet and make your little changes to preserve her. Do not wait for others to make changes. Start yourself. Quote, "One of the most difficult things is not to change society, but to change yourself." Nelson Mandela. End of quote. The guiding force of cycles. Tune into the natural cycles of life. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that mankind is manipulating the natural cycles of nature. While visiting Mother Earth, observe and look at nature, which is better than watching a movie. It is an ongoing story. And do not forget, it is your home for the moment, and the home for others still to come and visit it. Quote, "Nature gives to every time and season some beauties of its own, and from morning to night, as from the cradle to the grave, it is but a succession of change so gentle and easy that we can scarcely mark their progress." Charles Dickens. End of quote. The guiding force of balance. It is nature's duty to recreate balance. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that there are many ways how nature seeks to regain balance, and some are devastating for mankind. Nature has a balance of and within itself, and only mankind creates the imbalance and has to pay a big price. As long as there is no peace within you, you will not find it externally, and you will not experience balance, but rather play your part in creating imbalances. Do everything possible to assist nature to regain balance, but to really have an impact, to go within, is to go within, and to become being of non-interference. Quote, "The way to peace lays within." Maharaj Sawan Singh. The guiding force of necessities. Simplicity is the key. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, assist in preserving its foundation. You need the soil for your food. You need fresh water. You need clean air and oxygen. You need some sunshine. You need peace. There are many ways you can help preserving nature. Keep your life simple and stop the endless taking and consuming. Quote, "There is a sufficiency in the world for man's need, but not for man's greed." Mahatma Gandhi. End of quote. The guiding force of wholeness. No need to go more into separation. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that as long as you feel separate from your real essence, you will see everything as separate and will do things that separate things even more. Mankind is always trying to fix parts and pieces and losing the deeper and complete picture. The destruction of the planet takes place in every aspect, and for that reason all aspects need to be included in order to regain balance. This is from a physical, mental, emotional, economic, social, and spiritual level. Quote, "The reason why the world lacks unity and lays broken and in heaps is because man is disunited with himself." Ralph Waldo Emerson. End of quote. The guiding force of comprehension. There is always more than you can see or comprehend. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, are you pinpointing why things are out of balance in nature? Quote, "In nature, we never see anything isolated, but everything in connection with something else which is before it, beside it, under it, and over it." Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. End of quote. Yes, there are various obvious things you need to change, but there is a long history of how things are today, and not to forget the parallel damage you do to yourself on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. There is not one cause, but many, and for that reason, you must make changes on every level and in every aspect of life. Quote, "However far-reaching our intellectual achievements and however advanced our knowledge of creation, without faith and a sense of our own spirituality, there is only isolation and despair, and the human race is a lost cause." Jane Hawking. End of quote. The guiding force of improvement and perfection. There is always room for improvement. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, it is not trying to create a perfect world, but making improvements away from all the destruction. When you do a little on your part, nature will take care of the rest. You are trying to create a perfect world in your eyes, but actually doing the opposite and creating an artificial world in which everybody and everything is getting sicker. Quote, by creating an artificial environment, we are not stimulating our immune system enough. Germs are immune stimulants. They challenge you to be prepared. Deepak Chopra. The guiding force of order, place and function. Everything is part of an order and has a function and place. In regards to taking care of planet Earth, realize that mankind interferes with the harmonious order and functioning of nature. Nature knows how to keep order, but man interferes. Nature has endless ways to show you that a new order is needed and will keep on doing so until you take proper action. You cannot just judge everything and everybody affecting the world in a negative way. You are just as much part of that as well. First accept these facts and take appropriate action. Quote, we cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Carl Gustav Jung. End of quote. The guiding force of cause and effect. Every action has not just one reaction, but causes a chain reaction and creates a reality you have to deal with. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that mankind is paying a big price for its actions of destroying nature. Nature is like a sick child seeking for attention and help. You just need to stop the destruction and start a rebuilding. You affect nature, and nature in return affects you. You have a relationship with everything and everybody, and each action of any one of you will affect everything and everybody. So all what you are facing now is a reaction of your actions in the past. Be aware of your actions to either make things worse or better. Think about anything you do, eat or buy, how it affects the entire world. Quote, yet much will depend on what steps are taken during these next years and what kind of awareness, both collective and individual, is brought to bear on the challenges now facing the human community. Richard Tarnas. End of quote. The guiding force of contraction and expansion. Quality or quantity? In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, you are always so advanced with your inventions and dreams about the future, but you forget that you and the planet is going under by all of what you're doing. Quote, the last sound on the wordless Earth will be two human beings trying to launch a homemade spaceship and already quarreling about where they are going next. William Faulkner, end of quote. Use your mind and intellect for things that bring and preserve life, and be busy with quality instead of quantity. The guiding force of repetition. Using the ability to repeat for the right reason and purpose. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, man doesn't seem to learn from his mistakes because he keeps repeating the same and expecting different results. Quote, insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Albert Einstein. End of quote. The guiding force of reflections. All your experiences are a reflection from within yourself. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that the pollution on the planet is the pollution of your own mind, caused by your own thinking or by reading, hearing, and seeing things that are not right. The destruction you see on the planet, what people do to each other and the planet, is the destruction you cause to yourself, possibly by not taking care of yourself. Just look at the news and realize that all the confusion and wars are also confusions and war within yourself. See how you can help the outside world. Maybe you can help instantly, but not forget first to help yourself from the inside out. You are the world and your body is the planet. So do the best things possible in order to keep you and your body in good health. Quote, a healthy social life is found only when in the mirror of each soul the whole community finds its reflection, and when in the whole community the virtue of each one is living. Rudolf Steiner. End of quote. The guiding force of rhythm and vibrations. Realize that what you are, you will attract or repel. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, you do not live in and with the natural rhythms of nature, and you have interfered with them. You have become artificial beings and you have created an artificial environment. You attracted and created what you are. All of this is the sum total of all your actions in the past, and in order to change things around, you must get back to and with nature on all aspects, and possibly things will turn around again. Quote, advice is judged by result, not by intentions. Marcus Tullius Cicero. End of quote. The guiding force of service. Learn to serve and care. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, there are many ways mankind is serving themselves by unnecessary taking and destroying nature. Nature serves you with so many gifts, and it's time to serve it back, otherwise it cannot serve you anymore. You all know deep inside of you what is right action, but mostly you do not want to deal with it as it requires thinking about what you are doing and all its connections and consequences. Quote, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Albert Einstein. End of quote. The guiding force of individuality. There is no need for comparing and competing. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, stay aware that business competition on a worldly scale is one of the major causes that destroy nature. The quality of any merchandise should stand first in order to serve others. But when money comes into play, you are producing low-quality products and by doing so affecting nature. Cheap products do not last long, and you have to produce again, taking away from nature's resources, polluting your planet, and leaving more waste behind than needed. Quote, the challenge we face today is the one for shaking our destiny. Peter Amato. End of quote.